And I think you're going to have to click through a menu there. So this is the Handweavers Guild of Boulder new member Zoom in January 2022. And we'd like to talk to you about membership benefits. Again, my name is Amy Mundinger. I'm your president. And joining me in this presentation is Janet Strickler, our membership chair. There are a lot of benefits to being in the Handweavers Guild of Boulder. We are going to briefly just mention each of these tonight, but you can see in the center of all of this, which I really think of as the heartbeat of our guild, are our monthly meetings with speakers. We have 2 meetings a month. We're one guild, but we do meet once a month in the day and once a month in the evening. And speakers come and speak to both of those guilds, most of the time with different topics. So please be welcome to come to both the day and evening guilds meetings and learn more and meet more people.
So one really important thing to know where to find and to pay attention to is our newsletter, which is called The Beat. Long ago, it's been called that forever, kind of a pun on journalism and weaving, I guess. And that's our monthly newsletter. I say monthly, but it basically, we just have usually one issue during the summer, but it's about 9 or 10 issues a year of The Beat, and each month has information about who the speaker is going to be and other things that are going on are published there. So once you're a member, as long as you gave us an email address when you signed up, we will email you a link to The Beat, usually right around the first of the month. And there's a link to the PDF. But if you can't find the email or you lost the link or whatever, you can find it on the website. To access the members area of the website, you do have to be signed into your account, and it's under there. Although actually I think current issues of The Beat might also be under the Explore tab right now, but you can always find that in the members area. So pay attention to
Janet.
That. Yeah.
Only the latest Beat is on the Explore tab. Everything else is under the Members tab.
Perfect. Thank you, Jana. So keep an eye on that so that you'll know what's going on with all these other things we're about to talk about.
And if you're interested in looking at some of the newsletters from past years, there is quite a log on this page, and I can't page down because this is a screenshot, but you can read The Beat going back maybe 12, 15 years. So take a look. It's fun to explore, find out what the guild's been up to. I think, Janet, you already covered some of this. Not only will you receive an email when the newsletter is published, but the first thing you're going to see in each of the Beat editions is how to come to a Zoom meeting, where to find the link, where the next meeting is going to be held, and what that program is going to be. So minimally, you want to open up the Beat and read that front page. Monthly meetings. So we meet September through May during the day, generally the second Monday morning. And the reason I say generally is, if you were with us in November, because the show and sale happened this year in the first week of November, we let that Monday morning meeting fall to the third week. So we'll always give you notice, but generally second Monday morning, and then the evening guild is the Tuesday following that Monday. So the next day in the evening. In-person meetings, since this is the time of Zoom, include social time, library access, announcements and guild business, speakers, and live show and tell. And this is the kind of show and tell that you can actually touch and feel too, not just see.
So as we've mentioned, we do have a different speaker each month of the year, and at least a couple times a year, so maybe sometimes 3 times a year, that speaker will also offer a workshop to guild members. Those are something that you do have to pay for. However, we don't make money on those generally. They're just set up with the cost to be enough to cover the expense of it. So sometimes taking the workshops through the guild is a little less expensive than you might find if you were to take it somewhere else. And it's a great way to get together with people and to learn from someone who is an expert in a field. And many of the workshops are oriented towards people who haven't particularly done much of that technique before. And then some of them are kind of aimed at folks who are already familiar and want to take their take their craft or art to another level. So keep an eye out for those happening. I think we have one scheduled this spring.
And generally, they are limited to between 12 and 15 participants. So when you see a registration form in the newsletter and it's something you're interested in, be sure to act quickly, because a workshop can fill up if it's only limited to 12 people. We have study groups, and the word study groups doesn't really tell you a whole lot. This could just be people who are drawn together by a particular interest and work together and meet together and work on that particular interest together. Or it could be that they're interested in a little more academically or sharing information. But we have study groups that cover all of these areas that you see on the right on the screen. And you can find more information. This is again on the members side of the website. So you would go to the members tab, and the very last item on the pull down menu is study groups. And there on the members side, which you have to be logged into to see, you can find the contact information for each of these groups. So if you have a question, you want to know when the next meeting is, can you attend? I believe all of these groups are welcoming to new members, and there is no particular time you can join. You can join any time of year. Just reach out to the contact person, say you're new, you're interested, and how can you get involved?
This is one of my absolute favorite parts of being part of the guild is the guild library. It has not been very accessible to us during the pandemic, although we did have one library day last fall, and we may, if we were to end up not having in-person meetings this spring, we probably will have another library day. The guild has a library. I was going to go look up how many volumes are in it. Anybody have any idea how many volumes are in our library? It's quite extensive in all kinds of different fiber arts. We also have periodicals that we subscribe to. So there are a lot of magazines that, especially I find some of the ones that I would love to subscribe to but can't afford, the guild subscribes to, and I get the benefit of that. And so it's just a marvelous benefit of being part of the guild. The library committee keeps an eye on new books and periodicals that we might want to add. So there's everything from old stuff. At our last library day, I checked out some things that were from back in the 60s, that I was just delighted to be able to find, because the public library would have probably gotten rid of them before now. And then there's also brand new things. So I encourage you to check that out.
And let me just point out that here on this page of the website, all of our media are cataloged electronically. So you can click on any of these if you're looking for something in particular, or if you just want to browse our collection. It's all available here on the website. And now it's time for me to talk a little bit about the annual show and sale. I hope that all of you had a chance to be here. It was just 2 months ago, I guess, or a little over 2 months ago. I hope you were all able to join us. But this is the Handweavers Guild of Boulder premier event. There are many ways for you to participate in the show and sale. And let me talk about some of them. One of them is to participate in the juried showcase. During the 5-day open to the public show and sale at the Boulder County Fairgrounds, we also have an area that we call our showcase. It is juried by an externally chosen juror, and there are 2 awards with a monetary prize. One is for the juror's choice, and the other is for the people's choice. So people who come to the show and sale cast their vote during the 5 days, and a final award is made on the last day. You can find information about how to be in the juried showcase on the members portion of the website under sale information. And you can read more about that. In fact, everything I'm going to tell you about the show and sale, you're going to find more information on the website under this tab, Sale Information. There is a small fee to be in the showcase or to enter into the juried showcase, and that's just to cover the jurors' costs. There's no other profit made from that, so it's a low fee. This is a picture of our showcase hung on these pro panels. You can see some of the beautiful work this year. And now a few more gratuitous pictures of the beautiful work that goes into the show and sale. You can see ranging from dyeing, weaving, knitting. Here's a picture of the sale floor with a gorgeous felted vest, perhaps, and hat, and all the other works that you'll see. Just a diversity of items that artists, members bring to the sale. And we encourage you to tell your friends and to go to yourself our website, www.hgbsale.org, to learn more about the sale. This is a site where you can direct people to come to the sale to get more information. It also is a site that you can link to the main website to find out information about how to be in the sale. Or if you happen to know someone who you think would be perfect to be in the guild, you can also have them look at this site. So the question that I would ask you as new members is, will you participate in the 2022 HGB Fiber Art Show and Sale? I hope this is a question you're asking yourself. What will you make? It's never too early to get started. It's January. You have lots of time now.
the show and sale is one of the major fundraising sources for funds for our guild, but it's also a tremendous source of income for our members. So, Amy, do you remember how much we distributed I'm not sure we have gotten the actual final figure, but we have an approximate figure for last year about how much money went to guild
For
members.
2021, this figure is being published in the January-February edition of the Beat. Artist members were paid out over $106,000. 106,000, yeah, went to the artist members. So yes, it is a wonderful fundraiser for the Guild and also support for our artist members. And we want you to be part of this too. So one of the questions is, what should I make for the sale? And we have a process by which we help you understand what kinds of items are accepted. And that's called the rules and regulations. This is a document that is on that sale information page. And the easiest way to understand what you can bring to be in our sale is to think about techniques. These are the types of techniques, the list that is here on this screen, that are accepted into the sale. We're looking for excellent craftsmanship. We're looking for beautiful design and color. But most of all, we're looking for you to apply these techniques, which are hand weaving and related fiber art techniques. So what you don't see here is oil painting on canvas, right? Because that is not a technique. That is hand weaving and related fiber art techniques. So all of these are listed in the rules and regulations. This is just to give you an idea of how we think about what is accepted into the sale.
We did have one person in the chat who said that she has already started making items for the 2022 sale. Yay. And another question in the chat: when will the theme of the 2022 showcase be decided and announced?
Well, that's a really good question. We are currently looking for a sale chair for 2022. And it has been a tradition over the decades that we may have a showcase theme one year, and then we might just do a best of year with no theme. So that hasn't been determined for 2023 yet. It isn't necessarily true that we'll have a theme every year for the showcase. We might just have a year where everyone brings their best work of that year or of the last couple of years. So that will be determined, and just watch the newsletter as that develops. So if you're curious about being in the sale, I want to introduce you to a concept that Handweavers Guild of Boulder has a YouTube channel. What, ta-da! Amazing. And on that YouTube channel, you can watch videos put on by our sale technology team to tell you all the information that you need to know about being in the sale, maybe even being in the sale for the first time. So I encourage you to use the search terms YouTube and Handweavers Boulder, and you will get to this channel, and then subscribe and watch these videos. It will help a lot in bringing up your understanding. How you can get started: renew your membership. June, this is another tip for new members. June is our renewal month. Renew your membership. You need to be a member before the September meeting. So that's around, it's always a different date each year, around the 12th or 15th of September every year. But that is a cutoff for being in the sale. So if you renew your membership in June, you're golden, you're in. Read the sale documents on the HGB website. Again, I showed you where that was under the members portion and sale information. And then listed on that website, if you have questions, ask sale help at handweaversofboulder.org. And if you have questions about, are your items right for the Handweavers Guild of Boulder Fiber Art Show and Sale, contact standards at handweaversofboulder.org.
And as far as renewing membership, this is just a tip from your membership chair. If you renew when you first get a reminder, or at the very beginning, you'll get a reminder in May, or at the very beginning, you'll save yourself some reminder emails because they will keep coming all the way from the 1st of June to September 15th if you don't renew. So just do it early and make it easy on all of us. So this is another one of my favorite parts of what the Guild does, because I've been part of it for most of my life. I haven't been a Guild member my whole life. As a grown-up, just been a member for the last 3 or 4 years. But my mom was one of the very, very early members of the Guild back in the 60s. And this was a real passion of hers, was demonstrating fiber arts, weaving and spinning in the public. And right from the very early times, we would do programs in schools and various different public events. On the right there, you see a couple of pictures of me at the age of about 20 and my mom dressed up in our colonial dresses that she made us and demonstrating carding and spinning. So this is a wonderful way to help out the Guild and get to know people and publicize fiber arts and bring up a new generation of fiber artists, is to participate in outreach and demonstrations. And we generally have several opportunities during a year to do this. So I encourage you to volunteer for those. It's just a blast to be out in public spinning or weaving or knitting or whatever you do, felting, and explaining to people who are not familiar with it how that works.
Yeah, so it's really something that the Guild wants to participate in, public demonstrations and teaching in the community. And unfortunately, because of the pandemic, that's been curtailed. But the picture you see on the left is actually from the Boulder Public Library's first annual Fiber Fest. And I say first annual because the intention was to keep going. And I'm really hoping that will happen again. So if you recognize, that's downtown Boulder, and watch the newsletter for opportunities that will be coming up as we are able to be more and more out and in the community, we hope. So volunteering. You can volunteer at our yearly premiere event, the annual show and sale. And here are 2 lovely volunteer member artists working at the sale. You don't have to be an artist in the sale. You don't have to bring goods for sale to help at the show and sale. We need all the volunteers we can get. So there are other ways that you can volunteer your time, just doing odd shifts or working at the membership table. We'd love to have you, and it is very fun. You can volunteer at outreach events in the community when that becomes available again. You can be a member of a Guild committee. Right now, the library committee is looking for members, and there's information in the newsletter about that. And you can volunteer to be a member of the board. It's a great way to get to know a group of people and meet monthly. So HGB is a volunteer-run organization. You make it happen. It doesn't happen magically. It happens through a lot of work and dedication, and we're so grateful to all the people who volunteer their time in so many different ways. So I just mentioned the library committee, some other volunteer openings that are coming up. Programs planning chair, that is a person who shadows the current programs chair and learns how to do that over the course of a year and then takes over. So we try to do our big jobs in a way that you are learning on the job and with mentorship before you take over and do it on your own. We're looking for a sale chair for 2022. Let me tell you, there is a huge organization of people who are keeping their jobs year after year and working all the behind the scenes aspects of running the show and sale. But we need a main organizer, cheerleader that we call the sale chair. And we are looking for that person for 2022. Could it be you? We are going to be looking for a beat editor. Do you have skills in Adobe, in word processing? Do you love constructing newsletters? We're looking for a beat editor starting in May. Some non-board positions, we're looking for an outreach coordinator, do all those demos and community activities when they become available. We're looking for a guild historian. We're always looking for, when we're back to meeting in person, help with hospitality, definitely audiovisual setup, helping our speakers get their PowerPoints up on the screen, and again, the library committee. Any of those, whoops, let me just go back one word. Any of those that you might be interested, please reach out and contact me at president@handweaversofboulder.org. Love for you to ask me questions or have a chat on the phone, or tell me that you're interested.
Can you put your email into the chat?
You bet.
Thank you.
So, right from its inception, one of the real focuses and purposes of the Guild has been education, and that shows up in our outreach that we're educating other people. But we also have some capacity to help you educate yourself. So we have a scholarship fund that was begun in 1992, the Carol Strickler Memorial Scholarship Fund. Carol Strickler was my mom, and she was a weaver and an author, and she had just published a book, the Handweaver's Book of 8 Shaft Patterns, about 6 months before she died in 1990. So that book was published in the fall of 1991, and she died in the spring of 1992. And some of her friends in the Guild and my father put their heads together after she died and dedicated the revenue from her books at the time, she had several other ones as well, to this scholarship fund. And it is still going on 30 years later. There is also a table at the show and sale every year that members donate items to the table, and all of the profit, all of the money from items sold at that table go to the scholarship fund. And so to be eligible for a scholarship, you do have to be a member for a minimum of 3 years. And then you can apply for a scholarship to help or pay for going to a workshop or some kind of educational pursuit to further your fiber arts. We offer 2 scholarships each year, and part of the agreement when you get a scholarship is that you will bring that knowledge back in some way and share it with the Guild. So sometimes people who've gotten scholarships offer a workshop to pass on something that they've learned to other folks. Sometimes they become our speaker for a meeting or for both meetings for a month. So I encourage you to stick around and be a member for 3 years. And if there's something you would like to learn or up your skills, to apply for that scholarship.
Okay, and we also have, so we have funding for individual pursuits, and we also have funding through the Shacked Outreach Fund. Shacked Spindle Company produces looms here in Boulder, and they sponsor a fund for Guild members to fund projects in the community. So, for example, if you were going into schools and you needed a set of cricket looms, this is the fund you can apply to with your idea, your proposal, and receive funding for supplies, for looms, for spindles, for whatever your project entails. So check these out on the website under Scholarships and Grants under the Members tab. And this is our last slide, I believe. And is this mine, Janet?
I think so.
Okay, here we go. So the last thing I think we wanted to tell you about is that we have spinning and weaving equipment for rent for very reasonable rates. And Maggie Casey, our guest speaker today, I believe has all of this perhaps in her basement. And Priscilla Wagner is another member that you can contact by going to this members tab and rental equipment to get weaving equipment. So we encourage you to take advantage of this member benefit. Maybe you wanted to try out a different kind of spinning wheel. Maybe you wanted to try out more shafts on a loom, and you can do that at a very low rate. So that is available even during the pandemic. So look up on the website and reach out to those contact people. So thank you so much for your attention. We welcome you to the Guild. We're going to, next slide. Stay connected with us. This is really important. Once you become a member, we want you to stay engaged. How can you do that? By reading the information on the website, by looking at the information on the sale website, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, stay current, let us know through Facebook. If you have interesting things to post, let us know. And we want you to be as informed as possible so that you can get the most benefit out of your membership. So the next portion of tonight, we're going to move into a question and answer period and meet and greet, and this can be all mixed together. Maybe you can tell us in the chat why you joined the Guild. We're interested, and we thank you so much for being with us. We're going to spend the next half hour talking together. I'm going to stop the recording now,